Hello, everyone. I gotta change the overlay. Shoot, I forgot to do that. Hold on. There we go. Hello, everyone. Oh, I still have the old chat thing up here. Um, Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. uh, Before we get in, this camera's aimed way too high. There we go. Before we get into today's discussions, well, firstly, hold on, let me just add, actually, screw it. I wanted to talk about something really quickly before we get into today's conversation, before we get into the Chaturday. Um, this is kind of sad to talk about. It's going to be a little bit of a real conversation, so don't mind me. But I'll get to the chat in a little bit. I'll start chatting with you guys in a little bit. This is just gonna be kind of the stream opener. We're gonna get this out of the way before we get talking about talk about stuff. This past Thursday, we unfortunately lost someone in the gaming community, in the gaming YouTube community. His name's Billy Hudson, who was one of the lead people who ran the channel Game Chasers. And I want to talk about him a little bit before we get into today's stream, because Billy, now I want to preface this all by saying I'm not close with Billy personally. I'm not like a personal friend of his, but I've had the pleasure of chatting with him a few times, like on social media. I've met him at conventions. And he was one of the people who inspired me to do YouTube. Him and Jay, obviously, who run the Game Chasers. So I know a lot of you guys who watch me now either subscribed in the past few years, like, with like the Mario Party hype, or like SpongeBob, like Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, or even Luigi's Mansion 3. You guys all subscribed and joined, like in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2018, maybe even. But I started this channel nearly 13 years ago now, back in 2012. And back then, I've always said this, particularly around my anniversary streams. Like back then when I started my YouTube channel, I was very unsure of myself. I had just come out of, well, still kind of going through like, depression and all that as a teenager, and I was looking for a creative outlet. I was a freshman in high school back in 2012, and I was looking for a creative outlet. And I'd always loved YouTube. I had like done little YouTube channels before, like ever since like 2008. Like I was always doing like a little YouTube thing, but I wanted to do something different. And there are two YouTubers that I started watching around that time in 2012, because I started to get into retro video games. And this is so weird to talk about now, because of the fact that where my channel is now is so different than what it was, like what I started it as. Like back in 2012, I had made my channel a retro gaming YouTube channel. And the two people that I watched that inspired me was a YouTube channel called Business17. His name's Justin. Posted pickup videos, like video game pickup videos, really cool stuff. I looked up to him. He doesn't do YouTube much anymore. I know none of you would have heard of him. I think he's got like 10,000 subscribers, something like that. But I also watched the Game Chasers. And Billy and Jay both ran the Game Chasers channel. And I watched them, and just their editing, their comedic style, their just everything, especially as a teenager, made me laugh and made me kind of go like, I want to do that. And I was at a point in my life where I was trying to get happy again. You know, like I said, I was going through depression, so I was trying to cheer myself up. I was trying to do things to make myself happy. And retro gaming and game collecting and YouTube was really the thing that helped me dig myself out of that hole, because it gave me something to do. It helped me keep my mind off things. It got me to go out. I would go to flea markets, and I was inspired to do that all by people like Billy. Billy, obviously there are many other YouTube channels doing this nowadays, but Billy and Jay, when they started the Game Chasers, they were like the pioneers, the first real people. I mean, I'm sure maybe there were others, but like they were like the first big channel to like go out to flea markets and record everything they were doing. They would bring their cameras, they would goof around at the flea markets, and I was inspired by it. I loved watching their stuff. And I still do. I still watch the Game Chasers, even to this day. Even though it feels so weird now looking at, like I said, where I'm at now and the people and friends and other YouTubers I'm surrounded with. And they're all great friends and I love them. But back then, I was in a completely different community. The retro gaming community is so different. Like now the retro community, like all of the friends that I had in the retro gaming community don't do YouTube anymore. Like, some of them, like my friend Connor, will occasionally upload. Sometimes I've seen, but Jared doesn't upload. D and Dave stopped doing the YouTube channel. Jeremy stopped doing it. Like, all of my friends in the community have stopped doing YouTube for various reasons, like understandably so. But Billy kept it felt like he was one of the main people keeping that community alive with bringing out games, to still devoted to doing Game Chasers episodes, and he was just so good at what he did. And like I said, I've had the pleasure and honor, you know, at such a young age, at like 16, 17, 18, I've gotten to meet Billy and talk to him on multiple different occasions. And he was just the most genuine dude in the world that like one of the most genuine people I've ever met in this space. Like, to tell you guys a little story about, this would have been Too Many Games 2016, I think it was, 2016. I told this story on Twitter as well. But, you know, I had met Billy and Jay like a couple times, but like in passing, like as kind of like a fan, but someone like we had kind of mutual friends in a sense. Like we both kind of knew some of the same people, whatever. But like I wasn't friends with them. There's a whole generational difference. Like I was, like I said, 16, 17, 18 at the time I was a kid. And at this point, Too Many Games 2016, I would have like just turned 18. So I was like fresh out of high school. I was starting college soon. And I had walked up to Billy at a game convention at Too Many Games. And I talked to him for a bit. This was like in the middle of the expo hall. It wasn't like at a booth or anything, so it was a little inconvenient. But like he was so nice. He talked to me. But then he invited me to walk around with him and Jay for a little bit and basically do a little bit of game hunting. And I walked around, like it wasn't for long, like maybe 10, 15 minutes, but there weren't any cameras rolling. Like I wasn't on an episode of Game Chasers. It was just a genuine moment to kind of get to connect with Billy. And we talked about just growing up in different generations, the different shows that we watched, and how, how different it is for like, because like I said, I had just turned 18. Like, it was just a genuine moment to connect with him. And it's one of those moments that now that I'm not in the retro game space anymore, now that I'm not part of that community anymore, not that I've forgotten it, not that I don't appreciate it, but it's one of those things that just kind of was just like one of my experiences from doing this for 13 years. And I know I'm rambling on you guys. I'm sorry. I know you guys probably want to get into talking about games, but I really, truly want, because I know so many people that even you guys watch will have some connection to Billy from the Game Chasers. He was a big deal for the people in the community. Like, even even though I'm not a big YouTuber, and especially wasn't back then, I want to include myself in that because, like I said, I was part of the retro gaming community. I've been part of it, even though I'm not in it much anymore, since 2012. I know the community. I know most of the people in the retro gaming community. So people like Sean from RTC85, he already made a whole video about, he was actually really close with Billy. But even someone like Beat 'em Ups, you guys know Beat 'em Ups, Wood. He, I've talked smack about Wood before. But Billy really helped Wood out when he first came to America. I don't know how many people know this, but Billy let Wood stay with him for a bit, helped Wood out, and Wood probably wouldn't be where he is today if it wasn't for Billy. And that's not a diss on Wood. That's just to say how great of a character, of a person that Billy was. How much character he had. How nice, how humble, how gracious he was. He was so nice to anyone he met. And I'll just end this segment off before we get into talking about the fun stuff. You guys can start commenting about stuff that we want to talk about, because I know it's a little delayed, so I'll look at it in a second. And I know the chats aren't popping up here. I gotta change that, but that's a whole other thing. But I'm gonna end this off by saying this. Even though I'm not part of the retro gaming community anymore, even though I've changed and now I've put myself kind of in like the broader Nintendo community. I mean, like, obviously look at the people I collaborate with now. I'm like with Triss and Yo Schiller and Nintendo Fangirl and Clark and everyone. They're all just part of like the general Nintendo community, not the retro gaming community. So even though I'm not in that space anymore, this does haunt me. This does hurt. So huge condolences to Billy's family, to Jay, to Chris, to Eric, to everyone that was close with Billy, and Melvor, to Dongo, everyone who was close with Billy, and may Billy rest in peace. And the gaming space won't be the same without him. Hopefully, Jay finds some way to continue the Game Chasers legacy. But it won't be the same without him. Okay, now that tough conversation's over, I know, like, I try to be family friendly and I try to be positive vibes. You guys know that. I try to be uplifting. I try to be positive. But there are just some times, like not that I'm an influencer of any kind, not that I'm big in any way, not that my words or statements or any of that has any significance. But I felt like I could not do this show without at least honoring Billy. Because, like I said, his impact on this channel, even if you don't see it in how I make my videos, back when I first started it, huge. Okay, let's get the Pac-Man soundtrack rolling so that we're actually talking about video games now. Okay, well, is it literally gonna play every single? Let's just do that. Okay. Whew. All right, guys. We're out of the rough conversation. We're lighthearted now. We're lighthearted. We're all good. Everything's good. Oh, that was rough. All right. So let's see. Let me say hello to everyone who said something in chat. Let's see. Hey, Mahmoud. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Dom. Hello, My64. Hello, Segun. Hello, Luz. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. Let's see here. What do you think after playing, what do you think about Pac-Man Re-Pac 2 after playing the demo? Do you think it's better than the original? Oh, that's a good point. Have I not done a Chaturday since before? I guess I haven't done a Chaturday since before PAX West. So I actually never live talked about my feelings about the demo. Okay, wow. I didn't realize I never did that. I mean, life has been busy. I haven't had a free weekend since Seattle, so I guess it makes sense. Yeah, so, I mean, I explained most of it in my videos that I made. I mean, if you have any specific questions that I didn't answer in the videos, then I'll be able to answer in more detail. But in terms of the, like, how I feel it, how it feels compared to the original, I feel like the best way to describe it is it's the original game you know and love. It's just remade. Like, some people will be like, oh, the art style isn't close enough to the original, or oh, the controls aren't close enough to the original, oh, there are changes that aren't close to the original. And I'm like, well, that's kind of the point of a remake. You're remaking it from the ground up. It's not going to feel the same. And like, that's something that even I struggled to get grasp with. But here's the thing. There are things, because it's being remade, that obviously you will say something superior in the original, something superior in the remake. And most of it is subjective, like the art style, right? I think the new game, while I don't think it looks perfect, is a lot of a visual upgrade, artistically and graphically, from the original. But if you say you like the original more, well, that's just a subjective opinion on an art style. That's, like, I could say the same thing about Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, right? The original game had a charm to it, but the new game, it's different artistically. Art and stuff is subjective. The things that I will say objectively that are better in the original, I think, are two main things. Firstly, something I didn't have an issue with in my demo, but I could see being an issue in levels like Bedoing Woods or Magma Opus, is I could see the rev roll potentially being harder to use, because of the fact that there's something they changed that I'm not quite sure why. I mean, I think they changed it because they kept it as it was in Re-Pac and just redid it, and brought it over to World 2. But when you rev roll, the camera no longer zooms into the back of you and is with you when you aim. So I feel like that's going to lead to some potential, again, in the level I played, this wasn't really applicable, but I could see it being a potential issue where you can't quite see where you're aiming. Like I said, Magma Opus, there's a bunch of platforms. They're just in different locations that you have to, like, rev roll to, and I could just see aiming potentially being a little finicky. But then the other issue I have, and this is more of a design, and again, it's something they just brought over from Re-Pac and didn't do much with it. I mean, okay, a lot of people are complaining about the butt bounce and how it looks slow. The butt bounce itself feels mostly fine. It feels mostly like you'd expect it to. Maybe a tad slower, but negligible amount. Like, using the butt bounce regularly throughout the level is not really much of an issue. It's when you're using it on the bouncy platforms, that's where it feels noticeably slower. That's where it feels noticeably, like slower. But those are the only two things that I personally feel are objectively better in the original, if that makes sense. And also, I also want to say, in case anyone was wondering, probably a whole total of no one was wondering, but I actually got an email this week from Bandai Namco because I had applied to be part of their creators program so that, so that I could get a review copy of the game and review it. Unfortunately, I did not meet their qualifications. They sent me a list of potential reasons why they did not accept me into the creator program, and I think the gist of it is that my channel's not big enough and I don't get the views. I think that's the even though I work with Square Enix, I work with Nintendo, I've worked with THQ Nordic, Bandai Namco, they're like, yeah, you're too small. Which, like, it's valid, but I mean, like, one of my Pac-Man World 2 videos got 20,000 views. Like, I don't know, I'm a little salty. But, like, it's okay. I got the notification that my, I got a notification that my payment went through for my copy of, World 2 Re-Pac, so I bought the, the game's already bought, so it doesn't matter. Alright, I gotta go back up, because, let's see here. What's your view on Galaxy 1 and 2 on Switch being $70? Sucks. We'll talk about that later. What do you about think the Nicktoons What do you think of Nicktoons Dice of Destiny? Personally, I don't care about it. Not my gameplay style, so I'm not gonna play it. Where's that listener? At least I'm gonna play it soon. Back. Also, my favorite music artist after 16 song album this time. So shout out to Glaive. Is that how you pronounce it? But nice. Does Pac-Man feel different? Or God, that's loud in my ear. Sorry, hold on. I gotta turn that music down. I'm sorry. It's loud in my ear. If you guys want the music louder, that's fine. But oh my God, that was loud in my ear. Sorry. Anyways. Why is Chaturday not playing on screen? Because I don't use Restream anymore. Because since I stream exclusively on YouTube, I stopped using it, and I haven't fixed the. I've been busy, okay. Hey Neil, what's up? How much Re-Pac 1 did they release for this game? Excited to figure that out. Like in terms of like the controls and stuff. I mean, the game feels like Re-Pac. If you mean in terms of controls and feel, like they did not change much. Do you think all hope is lost for new Mario Baseball? I think so, because now you move on to golf, and they may do baseball after that, so there's less times flop, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, though, I know people are like, oh, where's Mario Baseball? Why did we get tennis instead of baseball? I think you also have to understand that's two different studios. Like, you have Camelot that does the golf and tennis games, then you have Bandai Namco that does baseball. And given that Bandai Namco have been working with Sakurai a lot now, I feel like that could be a lot of the reason why we're not getting a Mario Baseball game, because Bandai Namco have their hand in Kirby Air Riders, have their hands in Smash. So I feel like now Nintendo just doesn't see the benefit of having them do Mario Baseball. And when we got baseball in Mario Sports Superstars, it sucked. So I think Nintendo's just like, you know what? Maybe we don't need a Mario Baseball game. Especially since baseball, I mean, baseball is popular in Japan too, but it's not like an international sport like tennis, golf, and soccer are. Would you want Pac-Man World 3 Re-Packed? I want Pac-Man World 3 reimagined. I want Pac-Man World 3 reimagined. Let's see. You gotta think it's only the one level in the forest that spams them bounce pads and uses them a lot, but spread out for the rest of the game. Yeah, but it is. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's why I said in the video that for a level like Bedoing Woods, that's where that's where that level will probably grind to a halt because of how slow the falling is. But I feel like it's one of those things that it's just going to feel slow every time you use it. So it's going to be most noticeable in levels like Bedoing Woods, where there's a lot of the bounce pads. But even in levels where there are only a few, like in the level I played, like in Ice River Run. In that level, I could still feel it. Like, I still felt like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel satisfying to use those bounce pads. And there were only two there. So, like, even though Bedoing Woods is where that complaint, I feel like, is going to be the most egregious, I feel like it could have been improved. You're getting jibbed by Namco. I know, right? Getting jibbed by Namco. Now they'll never take me in because I'm talking crap about them. Though, to be fair, I've talked crap about some Nintendo stuff in the past and they let me in. Though, Nintendo haven't contacted me. Well, it's funny, I talked to, I guess I could say this now, because I feel like I'm probably not in Nintendo's inner circle anymore. But I last talked to someone from Nintendo. I'm looking through my emails now. It would have been like maybe July, maybe? No, it would have been August, because I was going to PAX West, and, you know, I have a couple representatives that work with Nintendo's marketing company that I'm in contact with. And I told them, like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to be at PAX West in case there's any opportunities, but I didn't get invited to anything. So, I mean, I'm not ruling out that maybe I get to work with Nintendo more in the future. It would be awesome. The rep I talked to did ask me, like, what Nintendo titles specifically are you interested in? Well, this must have been July, though, because I said Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 edition, so that had to be July. So, anyways, what platform are you getting Re-Pac 2 on? Switch 2. Let's see, you pronounced his name right. For sure, definitely look up Gleave if you need a favorite artist. Noted. What kind of music does he do? What do you think of the voice acting in Pac-Man World 2 and the Ice now? Voice acting I think is solid. I know like a lot of people don't want voice acting because the original didn't have it, like Pac-Man being a mute protagonist. Like I said, when we first got revealed that there was voice acting, at first I was like, ugh, I don't know if I like that. But then the more I heard of it, and when I realized it was Martin T. Sherman reprising his role as Pac-Man, I loosened up and I was like, you know what, this isn't so bad. And the Ice, again, that's another complaint where it's like, I wish the Ice, with an Ice River run, the Ice, when you ran on it, you had full control. You had full control of moving around on it. Like in the original, you had very little control. Like you had to basically jump and do a little bit of movement to try and get off the ice. In Re-Pac, you have full control on the ice. And I respect the decision because the ice is frustrating in the original Pac-Man World 2, but I wish you had a little less control in Re-Pac. I wish it was a little unpredictable, where if you jumped on it, maybe like you slid a little bit before you could jump again, or like something like that. But like walking on the ice is required for some of the collectibles and some of the stuff like that, so, you know, just kind of a change I'm indifferent to. I'm hoping the Mario Galaxy movie has more deep cut characters like the Tank, maybe Princess Shrew, but I don't think they're gonna go that deep. You think you get review code for Titans of the Tide? Titans of the Tide, so I did get accepted into THQ Nordic's, so I got rejected from Bandai Namco, but THQ Nordic approved me. And it's so, this is a funny instance of, I actually, when I was applying to, become a THQ Nordic creator, like, person, whatever, I noticed like the qualifications like that you need to become a person. I was like, ooh, like I was either like on the edge of not making it, or I just did not meet those requirements. But I applied anyways, and I still got accepted. But I think I got accepted because I've worked with THQ Nordic before. Like, I worked with them with Cosmic Shake. They gave me a review copy and all that. Obviously, Riders DX, Sheriff, and I, well, and other people as well. But we worked with THQ Nordic for the Rehydrate relief and all that. So, like, I've got a working relationship kind of with THQ Nordic. So, even though I didn't quite meet the requirements they had, they're still, like, we've worked with him before. We know he's trustworthy. We'll know he'll make content on it. We'll know he'll cover it fairly. Like, just let him in. That's what I'm assuming happened. Because Sheriff the Great got in as well. And, you know, he's got an even smaller channel. So, like, you know, it's, you know, I feel like it's such, like, people like us, you know, obviously Riders getting in is, you know, that's, you know, but for people like me and Sheriff and all that, it's like, I think THQ Nordic kind of have that, like, cause we've been kind of loyal to THQ Nordic, you know, we didn't cover the leak, we didn't cover when Titans of the Tide got leaked, you know, like, we just kind of have that loyalty to THQ Nordic, so I think that's why we got accepted. So, to answer your question, yes, I'm like 99% certain I'm gonna get a review code for, Titans of the Tide. Which is pretty cool. I honestly feel like Mario Baseball will be so hyped that we'll say this though. Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition after Korean, that thing will probably mean no Mario Baseball unless they pull a Mario Kart 8 situation where DLC is made by a different studio. I mean, they could, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Let's see, he plays Hyper Pop, but Gleave just kind of makes some electronic, kind of hard hitting lyrical bangers. It sounds just when done with us, for sure. Shout out to THQ Nordic. Hey, THQ Nordic. But yeah, that's cool. What's your Pac-Man World 2 level, and what do you think about changing one of the bosses to the owl thing? Oh, that's another thing about Pac-Man World 2. Something that got noticed on Twitter that I didn't make a video about because, like, I didn't know how to... Like, if I'm going to make a video now, like, with SpongeBob, back in that day, I would basically just make a video whenever anything came out for Rehydrated. But now it's like, especially because I'm trying to work harder on editing my videos to make them look nicer, I want to have, like, a real reason to, like, put out a full video about something. And this wasn't worth it, in my opinion. But people have noticed on Twitter that Wormwood... So, Wormwood is the tree that you get to that's the main antagonist of that hell level. the second to last main level, the freaking maze, the one that I raged at so hard on stream. Wormwood is actually apparently going to be a full boss. They basically kind of teased that on Twitter, that you can actually fight Wormwood. So Wormwood's going to be a boss, which I think is really cool. So you'll have the ghosts in their mechs, and I'm happy with the changes they made. After playing a little bit of Pinky's boss, I'm happy. I do hope there's one ghost mech. I want one boss to be the old boss. You know, just to have it. Like, just to have that original boss from the original game in there. Just to have it, you know? Like, it'd be kind of weird to just cut it completely. Or at least, like, make the owl, like, give the owl that same boss fight if it's not literally going to be a ghost mech. Zach Beck, was the music remade in Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac? So, I want to say yes. I want to say yes, because the music, now, when if you're asking about if I generally know, I don't know. I think it is. I think, what I'm kind of thinking, I think they might do, like, something like what Super Mario RPG Remake did, or at least I think it did. Well, okay, no. Let me talk about a game I know did it. Mario Party Superstars, where you can either have the original music, or you can choose the remade music. I feel like that's going to be the option. You know, they have the jukebox, and there's a lot of pages on the jukebox, more than there are actual worlds. So, I think that they're going to do the original soundtrack that you can just listen to, uncompressed, just listen to the the original soundtrack, or you could choose the remixed, the redone soundtrack, is kind of what I think they're going to do. I could be wrong on that, but I know they have redid some of the music, or I think they redid like all of the music for the game. So either I think there's going to be a new soundtrack, or not, well, when I say new soundtrack, I mean, you know, redone music, or they're going to have the option of using the original or repacks. Hey, Lippy Yoshi fan, how are you? How would you act if Waluigi got into Smash? I'd probably be pretty hype. Yes, I was hoping for Wormwood to be a full boss like on the Game Boy Advance version. Yeah, so Wormwood is seemingly going to be a full boss in, like, obviously, like, in that maze level, you get to Wormwood and the level just kind of ends. So it's nice to see that it's like kind of like that's the one. That's what I think this game is going to do best. Like, rather than something like Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which the purpose of the remake was to basically just bring Battle for Bikini Bottom back. Like, they modernized and changed some things, but at its core, it's still the same game. Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac is more like a remake, but like done up and changed and tweaked in a lot of different ways, and people are either going to love those changes or they're going to hate the changes, or there's going to be a mix. Oh, okay. I was like, music? But yeah. Actually, now I think about it, do you think Wario and Waluigi being in Mario Galaxy movie could lead to Waluigi's playable Smash debut the same way Mario, at least at DK's beat design? Not necessarily. I mean, I think you're kind of comparing apples to oranges there. I think Mario Movie 1 being related to DK's redesign, I don't think can be related to potentially Waluigi being in Smash. But, I guess, possibly? Maybe? What you get again in Pac-Man World 2 for having, original Re-Pac? Okay, so if you have the original Pac-Man World Re-Pac, then you also get, the Talkman skin, and Talkman was the final boss in the original Pac-Man World / Re-Pac. And yeah, the Switch 2 version of Re-Pac, of World 2 Re-Pac is a key card. The Switch 1 version isn't. I don't know if there's a free upgrade path. That I don't know. But if you want the game physically, I would say go for the Switch 1 version. But I don't know, in terms of performance and differences, I don't know if there's a real difference between World 2 on Switch 1 and World 2 on Switch 2. Oh yeah, favorite Pac-Man World 2 level. You asked me that earlier. I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, Bedoying Woods is pretty good. I also really liked that. I think this might be a hot take, but I really liked that. I forgot the name of it though. The level in Ghost Island where you're running, like it's a running level basically. I really like that level too. And is Sonic in Pac-Man World 2? Unclear. I mean, Sonic's like in it, but you're not gonna be able to play as Sonic. There's just like a little Sonic story that's entwined, and it's for a DLC. It's not part of the main game. I'm excited for the future of Mario for the Switch. Tennis Fever sounds pretty fire. Yeah. So I have another video going up on Monday about Mario Tennis Fever. That I'm pretty. It's kind of video I haven't done in a while. I think the last time I really did it was like. Well, no, it might have been. I might have done something with Super Mario Party Jamboree. But it's like a character predictions video, you know? It's like I made like, I mean, I teased it on Twitter, but I made like a little, basically like a makeshift character roster. And you know, I filled in, they confirmed 38 characters, so I put 38 characters in, and I'm predicting not only, well, not, it's a prediction / wish list of not only characters, but also courts. So I'm very excited for that video. I mean, my Mario Tennis video I did this week actually has done pretty well. Is at what? Nearly 1,000 views. Like, you know, it's doing pretty good for itself. So, so yeah, I'm excited to see what more Mario. I wish there was a little more. I mean, I'm not gonna be like Nintendo and be like, oh, Mario fans are starved of content. But I mean, I don't know. I think I'm just starting to get hungry for Luigi's Mansion now. Like, you know, I was like, oh, shut up. Sorry, my phone's going up. I was, like, you know, like, for a while, obviously, I'm like, oh, I'm not expecting new Luigi's Mansion. I was like, I'll wait. But now is the point where I'm starting to get antsy. Now I'm like, I want a new Luigi's Mansion. And by the way, in case you guys don't know, I've been getting a few comments these past few weeks of people asking when the Luigi's Mansion 4 video is going to be. I put up a whole post about that. I legit gave a release date for the Luigi's Mansion 4 concept supercut, and I feel like either YouTube isn't pushing it out, or people have just ignored the post. Because I've had people be like, "Where's Luigi's Mansion 4? Where's it?" I'm like, "Bro, I announced the release date. What do you mean?" Anyways, when you butt bounce, does it tell you where you land now? Yeah, there's a little like visual indicator under you. And that's when you jump as well, not just when you butt bounce. How did Riders get more demo gameplay than you? Okay, so that's a funny story. So, yeah, so, story time. I got gypped, basically, at Bandai Namco's booth when I was playing Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac. So, Riders DX and myself went in to the expo hall for media hour. And the first thing I told Riders, I was like, look, because we could have gone to Nintendo, but I was like, look, I think Pac-Man is a little more priority, at least for me at the moment. Like, yeah, Nintendo stuff's really big, but I feel like I gotta do Pac-Man before I can really give two craps about Kirby or Pokemon, you know? So, I was like, let's go to the Pac-Man booth now and get Pac-Man done and record, and I'll get something up really quickly, and you can get something up really quickly, etc. And he was like, golden. Like, that makes sense for what we do. So, we basically bolted as soon as they opened the expo hall. We bolted over to Pac-Man. Riders DX and I were actually the first two people in line. So we were the first people at PAX West. Riders and myself, we were the first two people at PAX West to play Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, which was really freaking cool to be the first people there to play it. But because we were the first people there to play it, they were still trying to get a grasp of things. So Riders and I get set up next to each other. Obviously, you can see in some of the... Well, we actually kind of cut it down, because, like, I think in my footage specifically, I actually kind of got both of our screens, but it was really kind of shoddily set up. But first thing that went wrong, my display, the display that my game was on, kept glitching out. It kept shutting off all that. And I had asked, I was like, hey, is something going on? And they're like, oh yeah, we're trying to fix it. They couldn't get it fixed, and they had to like close that station after I was done with it. But what sucked is I asked if I could play a little more, and they told me, because now there was a little bit of a line with media people, and she said I'd have to get back in line and, you know, and go back through so that other people got a chance to at least play the game. And I'm like, my playthrough of the game was heavily, like, all the video that you guys see that I posted on my channel was either Riders DX's footage that I borrowed, or I took my recording and I cut out the black screen bits, because there were bits where the screen went black. It literally happened during the boss fight too, when I was doing the ice skating segment down the hill. It caused me to die. Like, it hindered my experience a lot, so that kind of sucked. But then also, so I was gypped in that way, where I didn't even get a proper full experience. And every time I tried to go back, the line was so long, it was taking me hours to get into it. But then, Riders DX, the cheeky little thing, so I played the harder level, and he played the easy level. And the demo, it was a timed demo of 15 minutes, right? So I used up my whole 15 minutes because I was exploring the level, I was filling out the controls, I was collecting everything, like, I was trying to do a lot. But Riders DX played the easier level. He played, you know, stuff from the first world. And because he played stuff from the first world and he wasn't as invested in the collecting and the exploring, he finished his demo really quickly. Like, well, not really quickly, but pretty quickly, like before the time limit had expired. So what he did is he thought the demo was still going. He thought it was still kind of timed, so we're like, okay, he could start on the next level. But then when he started the next level, that's not what happened. When he finished his demo, when he beat the frog, you know, mech, the demo technically ended, and when he selected the harder level, you know, the level I was playing, he basically started a new 15-minute demo. So, the cheeky bugger got to play both levels in just one go, on a screen that wasn't faulty. So, Riders got a much better experience than me, and he was stood a foot next to me. So yeah, so I kind of got gypped at PAX West with Pac-Man, which sucks because, like, that was, like, the big thing. That's the one thing I was like, I want to be able to being real as a content creator, I wanted to be able to milk it. But I really couldn't because I didn't get to play, well, I only got to play, I got to play one of the portions, and it was severely hindered. And the footage I got was barely usable, and it was just yucky. I mean, it was still fun to play. There, like, obviously, like, I was able to get to the boss. Like, it wasn't unplayable, but it kind of sucked. They should have offered me another go at a different monitor. I think that's what they should have done. And to be fair, I should have asked for it. I did not ask. Well, I did ask if I could play the next level, but they told me I said, you know, to get back in line and, you know, I can come back, you know, like, you know, do it, like, you know, go through the line because there's people waiting, whatever. I'm sure that if I said, look, I had a really faulty monitor the whole entire time, like, can you cut me some slack? Can I just, you know, I'm sure if I did that, they probably would have been like, okay, because they let riders keep playing. A woman, like, the same rep that I was talking to, literally went up to him and she was like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. And he's like, well, can I just complete the demo? And she was like, fine. So I'm sure if I asked, I would have been able to do it, but I got enough social anxiety as it is. I didn't want to do that. So, yeah. So, that's how my Pac-Man experience at PAX was a little bit gypped. Let's see. Isn't the DLC $10 anyway, even if you don't buy the Definitive Edition? No, the Definitive Edition, I mean, comes with the... Like, if you get the Deluxe Edition, it comes with, like, the DLC later on. I'm pretty certain about that. Here. Just trying to figure out, just give me a second, guys. Yeah, the digital deluxe edition, you get the DLC. So if you got the deluxe edition, which is $40, you get the Sonic DLC when it comes out. When is Luigi Mansion coming to GameCube NSO? Oh god, why did I skip that? GameCube NSO? I don't know. I'm hoping October. I mean, they've been doing games every single month of the GameCube, but they haven't revealed the September game yet. So I'm kind of hoping that Luigi's Mansion is the next one. I'm kind of hoping that Luigi's Mansion is the next game they reveal. For like Halloween, obviously. But I don't know. There's no date on it. Super Mario Maker 3 and Luigi Mansion 4 are games that should come out in either 1 or 2 years. To be honest, too late for those. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, Luigi Mansion 4, I feel like is a definite, at least within the next 2 years, I want to say, for Luigi's Mansion 3, or 4, sorry. Super Mario Maker 3, I feel like it's just kind of pointless to do. Like, honestly, they should just do a Switch 2 edition of Mario Maker 2, and add mouse support, and add a couple more game mode types. Like, I don't think they need to make a whole new Mario Maker game, to be honest. 2 wasn't a big success. 1 was a big success, but 2 really wasn't. So I feel like if they just re-released 2 as a Switch 2 edition, added the mouse control support, and maybe 1 or 2 new themes, I feel like that would be better than releasing a whole new Mario Maker game. I don't know, like, how much. I mean, you can use the touchscreen in handheld mode, so there's got to be a way to be able to tweak it and add mouse support. There's got to be, right? What was the console that the demo was on? Ooh, that's a good question. I believe. Oh, God, I played so many games that weekend, it's so hard to keep track. I want to say it was PlayStation 5. I'm pretty certain it was PlayStation 5. I mean, the number of games releasing so this year? Not necessarily. Wait, does no GameCube games being revealed in September Direct mean there's no more games? That really sucks. It's true because there's barely any games on there. I don't think that's true necessarily because they still got, I think, 5. They got Sunshine. They got Luigi's Mansion. They got Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. They got, I think, Pokemon XD. They got Pokemon Coliseum. They got, like, quite a few games that they haven't released yet, obviously. So I could see them still releasing games and then not announce the new ones until early next year or something. Like, I mean, there might be months, maybe like September, where there isn't a game, but I think we're gonna see at least 1 or 2 more games, at least, before the end of the year. Because I feel like how Nintendo, at least with how Nintendo handled N64, what they did is they gave monthly releases for like a year or so. And then they slowed down. That way, like, I guess, like, they gave us not much, they gave us a bit more, and then they slowed down. I kind of feel like that's the approach they're going with GameCube, because right now there's only 5 games. So I think they're going to kind of do something similar. Is it 5 games or is it 6? I think it's 5. Also, you said the console got Virtual Boy element. The console, they actually know people predicting Virtual Boy as a joke. But I thought Nintendo would do it for real. I'll be honest, that one threw me for a loop. The one thing I didn't consider is the fact that the GameCube on NSO, it was exclusive to Switch 2. So, the Virtual Boy is also on Switch 1. So now, to me, that makes more sense why they would announce a new console. Because Switch 2 got the GameCube, but Switch 1 didn't get anything. So now Switch 1's getting Virtual Boy, which admittingly, big whoop. I mean, like, Virtual Boy is cool. Like, it's cool to actually get these games again. But, like, it's not like, I mean, it's a pretty big deal, but it's not like, oh my god, everyone's gonna go over the moon for Nestor's Funky Bowling, you know? So I'll admit I was wrong about their, I mean, because the whole thing was, because obviously people talking about Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS, because of a dual screen patent. I'm like, they're not going to do a new console for the Nintendo Switch 2 because they just did GameCube. But then I didn't take into account Switch 1. But then that point would still stand. The Switch 2 having a dual screen, so then that next console would only be available for Switch 2. So, still makes sense. What other games did you try? PAX West? Oh, I did a whole video. I did a whole video about it. But, I played Pac-Man, obviously. I played Kirby. I did not, so, on my last day at PAX, I got sick. So, I had to miss my, my Pokemon appointment. which sucked because I did want to play Pokemon Legends Z to A, but I had to miss my appointment. And I was going to play Resident Evil that day, Resident Evil Requiem, but by the time I'd gotten to the convention center that day, I had what was I doing that day? Because there was the panel I was part of. There was I think I had another appointment. Was it Square Enix that day? Yeah, I had. Or was that Saturday? It's so hard to keep track. But yeah, so I wasn't able to play Resident Evil, but I did play Pac-Man, obviously, Kirby, Air Riders. I played a couple other smaller like indie games. Royalty Free for All is kind of the big one that I played. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2. I played Dragon Quest 1 and 2 Remake on Switch 2. I think those are all like the big main titles. More so this year at PAX. I mean, great. Like I said, I was sick for half the day on Sunday, but what I did was I focused a lot more on meeting people and like networking and because so here's a fun story for you guys. So I posted some pictures of some people I met. So this is how weird it is to be a YouTuber, right? When, especially someone like me who's smaller, but like I have some friends who are in bigger places. I met up with my friend. I just finished. I think I had just finished my Square Enix appointment, and I was trying to see who's available, and I bumped into my buddy Daniel from Good Vibes Gaming. And, I said, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And we were chatting for a bit. Daniel's the one who made my logo and all that. So we were chatting for a little bit, and he was like, "Do you want to come hang out for a little bit before we gotta go do something?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, I'd love to hang." So I was walking with Daniel, and I sat at a table with him, and there were a few other people around me. There were a couple people at the end of the table I didn't know. But the first person that he introduced me to, he says his real name. I don't know if he'd want his real name out there, so I'm just going to say this person. So he introduced me to this person, and I said hello. I shook their hand. Like I said, "Nice to meet you," and he said, "Nice to meet you." And I was like, he sounds a little familiar. Like, why does he sound familiar? I know that voice. And I was talking a little bit, but then I think Daniel realized that I was like, you sound familiar. And then Daniel said, "Oh, you might know him as Arlo." So I was like, I'm meeting Arlo? And he's a very private person. Like, I got a picture with him and all that, but, he just asked not to post it online, fair, because, he's a talking fuzzy monster. But, like, it was like that moment of like, oh my god, I've been watching Arlo for years. I'm just at a table chatting with him. This is awesome. And then I didn't even notice. The person sat right next to me, literally inches away from me. Daniel, because I was so focused on Arlo, because, I was talking to them, like, hey, what's up? Like, nice to meet you. But again, kind of before I knew he was Arlo, I was like, what's up? Like, hello, cool. And then Daniel goes, yeah, and that's Nathaniel. So I was like, hey, Nathaniel. I turn around, and it was Nathaniel Bandy. And I was like, dude, what the hell? I just sat at kind of like the Nintendo YouTuber Cool Kids table. And we were just all chatting, and it was really kind of cool. And Steve from Good Vibes Gaming also showed up. And it was like kind of cool. And then the next day, literally Sunday evening, so I was sick that morning. I should mention I was sick from anxiety. It was an anxiety related thing. It wasn't like I caught the con flu or food poisoning, like nothing like that. It was an anxiety thing. So that night, me, Riders DX, and Demeech all went to the PAX, basically like an after party where all of the media, content creators, industry people, where we all go. And I haven't talked about the party, actually. I don't think I really talked about the party. The party was so sick. I was a little nervous because, like, again, I just dealt with it, like a big anxiety attack earlier in the day. So, I was standing with Riders DX and Demeech, and we had drinks because it was a party, so we were drinking, and this person comes up behind us, and then she's like, "Hey, like, how are you guys doing?" And I turn around, and I'm like, "Oh snap! We haven't met in person yet, but I know who you are because we've collaborated together." It was Josie Woe. Just like came up, was like, "Hey, what's up, dudes?" I was like, "Oh shit, what's up?" I didn't, And I talked with her for quite a bit. I was like, shit, like, I didn't know you were here. Like her and I, like, Josie and I collaborated earlier this year on my big Nintendo Switch 8-year anniversary video. But we'd only exchanged, like, emails back and forth. Like, we didn't, like, Discord call or anything like that. So meeting her, I was like, oh, shoot, like, hey, what's up? Like, first time meeting you. This is so cool. And then, up comes, Celia, who, for those of you who watch the Game & Talk podcast that Josie and Sean RGC85 is on, Celia's part of that. And Celia and I chatted for, like, freaking half an hour. Like, her and I were just shooting the shit. And, like, we were having drinks. Like, I don't know. I guess we were both maybe a little tipsy. Like, we were just, like, you know, we were vibing. We were chatting. I'm like, this is so fucking rad. Like, this is so cool. Like, we were just drinking and having fun. And then, you know, like, I talked to Nathaniel Bandy at the party. Arlo was there, too. I talked to Ash from Good Vibes Gaming. Like, it was just so cool. Like, these people that, like, I kind of somewhat know a little bit. Like, because, like, usually when I go to conventions, I'm always hanging with my friends. Like, I'm always with Triss, Riders, obviously, who I was with at that party. But Riders, Triss, Yo Schiller, whoever. Like, I'm always with people that I know. And at the party, I was with Riders, too. But me and Riders, like, Riders split off to go talk to people. I split off to go talk to people. And it was just so cool to meet all these other creators that, like, I know from either watching them or briefly interacting with them or collaborating with them, to actually get to meet them in person, have drinks. Like, it's different than, like, an environment where you're recording a video or doing something professional. Like, it was so funny because, like, Celia also works for Yacht Club Games, who do the Shovel Knight games, and she had asked for my business card, and I was like, well, thank God I actually brought them with me to this party. I don't know why, I didn't think I'd need them, but she asked for one. But, like, that's, like, as professional as it got. We were chatting for 30 minutes. We were talking about freaking Banjo-Tooie and Banjo-Kazooie and the Legend of Zelda games. Like, we were just talking about so much random gaming stuff. And it was just such a fun time. I didn't, because that party I got invited to last year, like at last year's PAX West in 2024, but I didn't end up going because I think I had a event. I think that might have been the Life is Strange party that I went to. Also involved drinking, but I didn't get to go. So, like, this year I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. So PAX West, like, even though, yes, it was about the video games and getting to play them. I mean, Pac-Man was kind of the priority, right? Pac-Man was the one where I was like, if nothing else, I just need to play Pac-Man. If nothing else. And, like, that's, like, at first when I went to PAX, I was like, oh, I'm going to play everything. I'm going to play this, I'm going to try and play that, I'm going to try and play that. But I realized, I was like, I kind of want to focus more on the social aspect of it, too. Getting to talk with people and meet and network with people. And that honestly made the convention a lot more fun for me. So it was a great time. Can you get DLC for Pac-Man World 2? Wait, where's it? Okay. Can you get DLC for Re-Pac 2 separately if you buy the stand? Yes, you can. Yeah, the DLC is available separately as well. How much is the DLC if you don't get the deluxe? Good question. Let me check. I'll check Steam. Oh, shoot. I freaking closed my browser, idiot. Zach, you turn off the music. Hold on, I'll get the music back up in a little bit. Is there anything new in Pac-Man World Pac 2's arcade? Did you see the Gamescom Into the Tide? I did see the Gamescom demo. Did I not cover that? I think I covered that. I think I covered the Gamescom demo, right? Dude, it's so hard. There's been so much coming out. Yeah. Yeah, I covered the Gamescom demo. I was gonna say, I'm like 99% certain I did a video talking about, like, all the new stuff they showed in that Gamescom demo. I was like, I swear I did. Let's see here. Yeah, they don't have the DLC on the on the page. I'm going to assume the DLC separately is either going to be $10 to match the game or $15 to incentivize people to buy the deluxe edition. Now I get to get the music back up. There we go. Let's see if it isn't going to be online. Oh, they don't have that one on there? Oh, that's awkward. Did you ever play play a Wii Pac-Man Party? It's so funny. We were actually, so in the Mario Party Madness crew, we were actually going to stream Pac-Man Party. But Clark couldn't figure out how to get the motion controls and such to work. So no, I've actually never played Pac-Man Party. And we were going to play it, but we weren't able to. Though, we're going to try again this week. So expect for maybe Wednesday or Thursday, either a Pac-Man Party stream or Pac-Man Fever. Just to kind of celebrate Pac-Man World 2's release. I still gotta talk to Clark a little bit about that, but we'll figure something out. Hey Zach, you know what I think would be a major announcement for the NSO? Either Dreamcast or OG Xbox. I think that Nintendo announced OG Xbox and NSO, the internet would shatter. Yeah, it would. I don't think Microsoft are in that state to do that yet, but Dreamcast I could actually see. Dreamcast is a console I could actually see them doing. But I don't see them doing it for a while. Mostly, well, I don't know, because even though the Dreamcast and the GameCube were in the same generation, they did not share a lot of games. Like Sonic Adventure, sure, and Sonic Adventure 2. But other than that, I guess Resident Evil 2, I think, was also on Dreamcast. I don't know. But I would love to see original Xbox. Though, I think the button, well, no, I mean, I have muscle memory for Xbox, some Xbox games though, so I feel like having the buttons in different places would throw me off, but maybe not really. So what do you think a THQ Nordic will do after Titans of the Tide for the licensed games? I don't know, hopefully they do something good. What was in that bag, Bandai Namco at the Pac-Man World 2 booth? So, in that bag was a postcard, like a promo for the game, and a thing of cup ramen because they were partnering with Maruchan for I don't know why. I guess because it's food and Pac-Man likes food. That's the only connection I could make. Maybe because like obviously they couldn't. I don't think they could give out fruit. I think there's certain limitations like what kind of food they'd be able to give out. I don't think they'd be able to give out like fruit and such because I think there's like some health and safety concerns behind that. Hey Miles, how are you? Are you live streaming Pac-Man World 2? Yes, I will be live streaming Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac on release. When the game's released, I will live stream it. I will live stream it for you guys. So let's take on Mario. Oh, it's funny if I was actually a little thinking about addressing Nintendo. Thank you, Miles. About addressing the Nintendo stuff. So yeah, so Nintendo Direct. So a lot of the pricing stuff, here, I'm going to scoot this up so that I can catch. Okay. With that Nintendo Direct, I feel like a lot of the issues with everyone just came down to the pricing of everything. Like, things were just too expensive. Like, you know, $70 for Mario Galaxies 1 and 2. Look, I think 60, I mean, look, here's the thing. It looks like they have gone in and done work on those games. There's mouse support now. There's you know, an added easy assist mode. There's amiibo support. So they've added things to the core games. But I don't think it's enough. I don't think they've added enough to justify charging $40 for each of them. Right? Like for me, a $40 remaster. A $40 remaster is like you went in, like something like Metroid Prime Remastered, right? Where it's like yeah, okay, they went in, they changed a lot of textures, they tweaked a bit, they made it look a lot better. They've really gone in and worked on it. Like they went in and tweaked some stuff. For me, they didn't do that with, like, yeah, they changed some textures, sure, but they haven't like done anything super crazy with Mario Galaxies 1 and 2 enough to make it worth $40. I would say $25 is on the high end, so like $50 for the both of them. The one thing I want to know, which could make it worth it, if you have a well, hold on, I want to research this. Because something I'm trying to figure out is if those, if the Nintendo Switch game vouchers, if that counts for, because with the game vouchers, it basically equates to $50 for each game. So if you can get Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for the game voucher, that I think is worth it. $50 for both of them, I think is worth it. Because then that's $25. That's nearly 50% off of what Nintendo were asking for them. I think that's more worth it. Because the thing is, I don't know if they would support a $70 game with the game vouchers. Well, hold on. Does Tears of the Kingdom support one? Yes. Okay, so the Tears of the Kingdom supports the game voucher. So if Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 support the Nintendo Switch game vouchers that you can get, I'd honestly say that might be worth doing. Get yourself the game vouchers. So that's $100. That's $30 more than than Galaxies 1 and 2. But boy, can you get them? Hold on. Let me. Oh, I think my Switch might be dead. Ooh, but I don't see it on the. I don't see it on the voucher list. Because Nintendo has like a voucher list. Trying to see. God, sorry about that, guys. Hold on. Oh, God. Yeah, my computer's not like that. Okay, so they can't redeem it. Oh, okay, never mind. Forget what I said. Galaxy 1 2 can't be redeemed. That would have been the best deal to get. Maybe they count because they count it as 2 games? I mean, I don't know. Did Pikmin 1 and 2? I mean, Pikmin 1 and 2 aren't on here. Okay, yeah, because it's a bundle. Okay, yeah, so they don't do game vouchers for bundles of games. So Pikmin 1 and 2 also doesn't. Okay. So never mind, forget what I said about the vouchers. That would have been the best way to do that, in my opinion, is allow the vouchers. But, you know, they didn't. Let's see. Well, here's the thing. They'd release an OG Xbox Nintendo Switch all-in controller instead of the red box or the green box. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Mario Galaxy on the All-Stars game, gotta know now. How we going, Dom? If you think about it, Zach, Mario is actually a good deal. Because why? Because you're getting both games for only $10 more than what they cost back in the Wii game. So I don't understand if people are complaining against faster game. But the thing is, though, is that both games eventually went onto a just because they were $10. Okay, so they were $60 games, let's say, right, back in the day. Just because they were $60 when they launched doesn't mean that now we're getting them for, or $50 when they launched, whatever. Just because you're getting them $10 cheaper now doesn't make it better, because the game, especially Super Mario Galaxy 1, is nearly 20 years old. Super Mario Galaxy 1 is a nearly 20-year-old game. So that's why people are complaining, because it's like, this game's nearly 20 years old. Why are you still charging the same amount when you can get something like Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, which is a complete ground-up remake, for $30? Like, that's what people are saying. It's like, you can get like full remakes, like Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Those cost $30 or $40. Why is Nintendo charging $40 for a remaster that tweaks some things? Is, I think, the main cause for discussion. Like, I don't want to spend $70 on two games, that I've been able to play for the last nearly 20 years. Like, you know, if they remade them and did something new, then that's valid, because they did something new. They've actually gone in and really worked on the game. But it's like, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what it's like. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but I can't think of one. I'm too tired to think of a good analogy. Personally, I think this should have been a $50 bundle, $25 for each game. Don't forget, it's the factory character Super Mario. I hate to say Nintendo never got that be cheap. That's how Disney. Well, yeah, I mean that's why they're charging so much for it, because it's Mario. But that doesn't mean that people aren't going to be upset about it, even though, yes, Nintendo, like, we don't want them to do it. We just know they're going to do it because it's Mario. We're not arguing the fact that Mario is there, because of course it is. What people are saying is it shouldn't be that egregiously overpriced for two games that nearly came out 20 years ago, or 20 years ago and like 15 years ago. Like, you shouldn't have to pay, let's be real, getting close to $100, or the price of a full modern retail game that you're getting now in 2025. Shouldn't cost that for a couple Wii Lite remasters. Like, that's kind of the crux of it, really. Is it worth, like, you know, like, is it worth it? Do you think you'll get any of the Mario games from the Direct? Mario Tennis, 100%. Yoshi, the jury's still out on that one for me, because I need to see more of it. I need to see more of Yoshi's Crafted World, or Yoshi in the Mysterious Book. I need to see more of it to, like, really know if I want it. But Mario Tennis for sure. Mario Tennis is like, that's what I'm definitely going to get. Especially because from Nintendo, there's not much else coming from them that I'm super excited for at the moment. So Mario Tennis is like, okay, that's my game that I'm looking forward to. I mean, Metroid Prime 4, you know, is one, but like, I'm not like excited over the moon for it. I'm like, okay, I want to try it. Mario Tennis is one that I'm like, I know I'm going to play this one. I know I'm going to like actually put time into this one. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, because of the fact that you can't play Mario Galaxy, because of the nature of it being a Wii game, you can't just play it naturally with like a Pro Controller, or, well, I mean, I think you can, but like, there's compromises. Like, I just don't care. Mario Galaxy is like probably my second favorite 3D Mario platformer, but trying to bring it to a modern platform, you know, you have to do a lot of compromises because of the motion control stuff. Like, I think they should have tried, if they're going to do anything with Mario Galaxies 1 and 2, they should have actually tried to rework the control scheme so that if you wanted to, you could just play with a Pro Controller, and not have to rely on gyro or mouse controls or any of that. Just play with the Pro Controller, just sit, play with the Pro Controller, or in handheld mode, because like handheld mode you need to use the touch screen, which is the way I played Mario Galaxy on Nintendo, or in Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Because I'm like, I would rather use the touch screen than trying to fiddle around with motion controls on the Switch, because you have to recalibrate it, you know that stuff. Let's see, do you think still getting the rumored remake from Masters of the Robot Fire Emblem, the rumored Ocarina of Time remake? I mean, here's the thing. Like, Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, I feel like we've been hearing about for a really long time. I just feel like we're at the point, like, this is why I've always said I just don't like talking about rumors that much. It's because, like, then it's like we think, like, ooh, are these actually gonna happen? It's like, they could happen. That's why they're rumors. See, they could happen, they couldn't happen. Because the word that you're adding in there that's throwing me off is, like, if we're still getting those rumored. Like, because when you put the word still in there, that makes it sound confirmed. Like, oh, are we still going to get those things that are rumored? Well, we don't know. They're rumors. Like, rumors, like, look, it's fun to speculate. I've said this before. It's fun to speculate on rumors, but it's just not my thing. It's just really not my thing, because, A, I don't pay attention to them that much. Like, if there is a rumor going around right now for, like, Luigi's Mansion 4, I don't know anything about it. I have not a clue. Should I know? Maybe, because I'm the person who probably should make a video on it, and maybe I will. Maybe I will start paying attention in case there is something. Because, gotta get that bread somehow. But rumors, it's just too much to pay attention to, because there's so many people who are like, oh, this. Anyone could create a rumor. Anyone could corroborate a rumor. I know, like, Fire Emblem has some people behind it, whatever. The Ocarina of Time remake thing, I've heard about it, but if there's going to be an Ocarina of Time remake, it's going to be closer to the Zelda movie, right? Like, they're going to try and line those up. So the Zelda movie's not coming out until 2027. Like, hold on, when is the Zelda movie coming out? When does the Legend of Zelda movie come out? May 7th, 2027. So I don't see, if they're going to do an Ocarina of Time remake, given that that's one of, if not their most popular Zelda game, I don't think they're going to do that until near when the Zelda movie's coming out. So if there is a Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, I don't think it's coming out until 2027, early 2027. Right? Like, you're doing a new Zelda movie. What's the best way to draw up hype for it? Release a remake of the most popular Zelda game of all time. So, if there's a Zelda remake, it's far off. Kirby, I mean, look, Kirby gets games every single year. Kirby probably gets more games than, like, every other Nintendo franchise except for Mario. So, Kirby remasters, remakes is like saying, oh, humans drink water when they need to. Like, it's probably gonna happen. Whether it's those remakes, it could be, it could not be, but Kirby gets remakes and games out the wazoo. So Kirby, anything can happen with Kirby. And then Fire Emblem, I mean, they just announced a new Fire Emblem game, so I think it's unlikely that they're going to announce a genealogy now, as they're trying to now build up hype for their new game, for the new Fire Emblem game. So, to me, now it just doesn't even make sense for them to do the new Fire Emblem game. But it can be the most exciting, one of the best remakes of Mario, trying to do the game wonders. It really needs it, because the game's aged like milk. Yeah, but there's a lot of games that could be better but aren't, but they're not going to touch them again. Like, would it be cool if they remade Sunshine? Yeah, I would love it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, especially since they re-released it, like, I don't know, like, it's one of those games where it's like, it's a product of its time, like 64 is, right? 64, I mean, granted, they did remake it with DS, but the main reason, I'm 99% certain they remade it for the DS was to kind of show off the power of the DS. Be like, look what the DS can do. You know, it's like a little mini N64 you got right in your pocket, and it looks even better. Like, if they're going to remake a Mario game again, I think it would be 64. I don't think they'd remake Sunshine. Like, the reason they remade Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door was because it was the popular one, the one everyone loved. They could have remade the original Paper Mario, or even Super Paper Mario, or one of the other ones that, like, you know, okay, it has issues, you know, that could be addressed, and, you know, it hasn't aged the best, let's touch it up. But no, they chose the Thousand Year Door because it's popular, right? I'm trying to think of an instance where Nintendo remade a game because they wanted to make it better, as opposed to them remaking a game because it was one of the popular ones. Luigi's Mansion remake. It was a popular one. Mario and Luigi is a perfect example of this. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story are two of the most popular Mario and Luigi games. Wonder why they skipped Mario and Luigi Partners in Time remake? Because that one wasn't as popular. Like, Nintendo will remake games. For the most part, there could be exceptions because they're popular. That's what gets the money. So, hold on, let me see. Let me do list of Nintendo remakes. Well, okay. By Nintendo. Pokemon Diamond Pearl, one of the most popular Pokemon generations. Link's Awakening, probably one of the most popular handheld entries for Zelda. Okay, well, that's not by Nintendo. Let me see. I mean, I'm trying to. There was that another code. That's probably the one exception. Oh, hello. Okay, there's like another code which might be the exception, but I don't know. Well, you watch the Zelda movie, probably. If she didn't listen to the fans, and someone said like Mario Party and Paper Mario, but look how long it took them to. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo, here's the thing, right? I mean, I always say this. I've said this for many years. Nintendo's a company, right? Nintendo want to do new things and to expand franchises, but at the end of the day, they're limited by what their fans want them to do. It took them long to listen to fans about Paper Mario, and the fans have been loud about baseball. And they gave us tennis. Here's the thing. I feel like... The thing is... Look, I've been advocating for a new Mario baseball game. But I think it's an over-exaggeration to say that people are loud about a new Mario baseball game. I think, like, when talking about Mario sports, people would be like, oh yeah, I'd like to see a new Mario baseball next. But there's not people, like, with Paper Mario, like, oh, bring it back to its roots. You gotta do this. There's not been petitions for it, you know? Like Arlo literally did a whole petition where thousands of people signed it. There's not thousands of people like, oh yeah, we need a new Mario baseball. Again, I would love a new Mario baseball, right? I would love one. But I wouldn't necessarily say that people are loud about it. People aren't loud about the Mario sports games. The only thing that people were loud about with the Mario sports games is that they hated the drip feed. They hated the launch the game with half the content and then release the rest of the content in the coming months. That's what people didn't like. That's what people were vocal about with Mario sports games. And seemingly with Mario Tennis Fever, they addressed that complaint. They're like, oh, there's 38 characters that you're getting at launch. You're getting 38 characters. Like, they're clear. Now, if they're going to give us content after that, it's going to be a bonus to already having a full game. That's the stuff that fans were loud about with Mario Sports. I wouldn't say people were loud about Mario Baseball. Like, no one was, like, begging for it. No one was outcrying for it. No one was like, this needs to happen. I mean, like I said, in predictions videos, in wishlist videos, people expressed wanting a Mario Baseball game. Like me, I've been like, yeah, a Mario Baseball game. I would love one of those. So that'd be really, really cool. But it hasn't been, like, an outcry of, oh, we're getting just tennis and golf. Like, where's the other sports? Like, we haven't gotten that outcry. So... that's kind of where I stand on it, where it's like, would I like them to do Mario Baseball? Yeah, but it's not like something that Nintendo fans have been begging for. Do you think the talking flower should appear in future Mario games? I'm neither here nor there about it. Like, if the talking flower shows up more, I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not opposed to him being in more games, but I'm not like begging for him to be more in games either. I'm like, okay. But like, I'm trying to think if there's a series. Like, I mean, I don't want him creeping into like. I kind of want Talking Flower to be kind of treated like how. Well, no, Pauline's not the right character. How. Like, I want Talking Flower to just kind of relegated to like the side games. I don't want Talking Flower creeping into like Luigi's Mansion, or like a new Princess Peach game if there was one, or Wario, or Donkey Kong. Like, I want Talking Flower to just be a little extra character that's just kind of in the Mario spin-off titles, you know, or 2D Mario as well, obviously. But like, other than that, I'm not really here nor there about it. Also, I'm just curious, when do you think we'll get Mario Party games? You know, so I'm thinking, so there's really no games for me yet. I don't see any for the Mario sports game, Mario Party games. I don't know. I feel like I do feel like they're going to introduce Mario Party, or like they're going to I do think Mario Party is going to be one of those ones they do bring out sooner rather than later. And something I have a theory about, and something I'm kind of wondering about as well, with the Game Boy Advance Nintendo Switch Online, for some reason, they have not brought Mario Golf and Mario Tennis from the Game Boy Advance to the Game Boy Advance NSO yet. So I'm very, I'm kind of confused why they haven't done that, and I'm wondering if when they do that, if they're going to integrate like the GameCube link cable support, because like you can communicate between the two games. I'd be wondering if they do that. But for Mario Party, I'm really hoping that by the end of next year, I would love to hear about something like, oh, Mario Party 4 is coming out, and then Mario Parties 5 through 7 are going to come out later. Like, you're just going to get 4 for now, and then like eventually later, you know, because they usually do one game at a time, it seems, so just do it. I mean, I would love for them to do 4 and 5 together, and then 6 and 7 together. Or just drop them all, but we know they're not going to do that. Yeah. Also, when Mario Party 4 through 7 drops on NSO, will you stream it like with viewers? I will stream it 100%, but probably not with viewers. I've had too many issues with streaming with viewer streams, particularly with Mario Party. Like, Mario Party is one of those games that personally I don't like streaming with viewers. Because with Mario Party, it's like, at least me, half of the enjoyment of Mario Party is playing with people that you know and like, and have chemistry with and bond with. And if I'm going to, if they come out on NSO, I'm probably going to do a stream with some of the Madness crew, or like Triss, Sam, like Nintendo Fangirl, Yoshiller, Alec, Connor Condria, like one of them, or some of them. Probably, just because it'd be a more interesting viewer experience. It would be a more interesting viewer experience to actually get to watch people who know each other and have chemistry and are friends, like, be able to, you know, interact and joke around and play the game together. And not saying that it wouldn't be fun to play with you guys, but it would either be I play and just play with you guys, you know, just in chat, or I have a voice call open with you guys, and I'm socially awkward enough as it is, so interacting with people I don't really know like that, even though I talk to you guys every day, or not every day, but every time I stream, it would be something that I personally would not enjoy. Not because I wouldn't want to play with you guys, But because of, like, my social anxiety being bad enough as it is, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable being in a voice chat with just people I just don't know like that. Like, it's just not something I personally like to do or feel that comfortable with doing unless I really, really know someone. So it probably wouldn't be something I'd do. I'd probably do it with people I know from, you know, the YouTube community and all that. There's something else I want to say too. I don't know. I don't remember. Or actually, another thing you should do is actually integrate a thing where if you're going to Zack Pack member, you get to play more. See, the thing is, with the Zack Pack memberships, I don't do that only because my life is so sporadic and can be really busy. Because, like, with a YouTube membership, if I offer something like that, I would have to be consistent with it. I'd have to be like, we host a monthly Mario Party night, you know, or something like that. But then, like, what would happen if I got, let's say, 6 members? Okay, well, then I'd have to do 2 different sessions with all these different people. And then, like, that means I'd have to do 2 game nights. And, like, that just, like, 6 members isn't even a lot. So it's just too much work. That's why, like, for me, especially since I'm so sporadic and busy with my personal life and editing and everything I'm trying to do in my personal life, the membership is just kind of a thank you little tip jar where you can get perks, like your name's obviously highlighted, you get the emotes, you get the plug at the end of the video, and then that's just as much as I can do because I just literally physically can't, at least now, do anything else. If I ever get to a point where I'm like a full-time big YouTuber and I have more of that time, you know, that, like, or because obviously all my time would be devoted to content creation. So if I ever got that big, then yeah, I would probably do something like that where it's like I can do like a little raffle or something, and like, you know, certain members each month would be chosen to do a Mario Party session, whatever, or like a members only Mario Party stream or something, or like, you know, something like that. But as of right now, I don't think I have just the time or ability to really do, because obviously you guys can tell I barely live stream as it is. Like, my last Chaturday was what, a month ago? Like, I'm barely able to do these as it is. So, you know, it's kind of hard. Will the purple ghost in the background turn into Zack Pack show? Oh yeah, where is he? Him? Was he in an episode? I'm trying to remember, because I think I filmed. Trying to remember. I think was he in an episode? Because I remember filming something specifically with the ghost. Be like, oh, well, I'm a spooky ghost. But I don't remember if I actually did anything with it. But I will say also, for people wondering, the Zack Pack show is holy shit. Thank you, Brandon. Oh, I got to alert. I didn't realize I had to leave what's going. Anyways, holy shit. Thank you, Brandon. Here's a donation for you. Got a bit of money available. Go buy yourself some lunch. No, thank you, Brandon. Thank you. So nice of you. Let me give you a little like. Thank you. And go buy yourself some lunch. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. Episode 2 is there for Dark Moon. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew I recorded it for something. I figured he might be in the Dark Moon episode, because makes sense. But that episode was all done on green screen, so I was trying to think of like how I guess I would have had him on a green screen anyways. I know there's also this new feature on YouTube that I should utilize. There's like a feature where I can like turn on, and I figured why not? Oh, fair enough. I know there's a feature on YouTube where like I could set up goals. Maybe I should do that, because like I know streamers really promote super chats and donations, and like it's not something I really do, because like at the end of the day it doesn't really matter like that much to me. But like oh, it's right here, the goal thing. So like I could do, maybe like I should do like I didn't mean to close that, dang it. Here we go. Maybe I should do like a goal one day where if I reach a certain amount in like super chats or something, that I do like a game night with viewers, because like this is gonna sound maybe a little messed up, but like if I'm gonna put myself that much outside of my comfort zone and do like, cause like just like a Mario Kart night with viewers, right? Where we're playing Mario Kart and I don't have anyone in the VC, you know, we're all playing Mario Kart together. That's really nothing. That's easy, and especially like, you know, I'll have like maybe Tris or like one of my friends on call, so I have someone to interact with. But then we can get viewers in the game. Like, you know, those are my favorite things to do. Where it's like Mario Kart, where you have like, you can have 24 people, you can have everyone in, you can have everyone involved, or at least people who want to be involved. But like maybe I should do a thing like where I have like a stretch goal or like a goal where like in this stream, if I get like $30 in super chats, I'll do like a Mario Party with viewers, you know, with voice chat live stream or something of the sort. Like that could be cool. But yeah. Okay, I've been streaming for about an hour and a half. I think I can start wrapping up stream shortly. If there's anything else that you guys want to add or want to ask, let me know. I'm trying to think if there's anything I really missed that I wanted to talk about. I mean, I think we really talked about the gist of things. Like we've really gone into a lot today. Not gonna lie, it's really one of the dreams of our party. I can see no artists. I still want to play with you. It's amazing. You could. I'll try. It's something like, again, it's one of those things I'm not like very comfortable with, but I'll leave it at a maybe for now. And another reason is also whenever I stream Mario Party specifically with viewers in the past, we've had a lot of issues with disconnects, and it's one of those things where it's like it breaks the pacing of the stream. It makes it not fun for me, but then also everyone else playing, and then also everyone watching. It's just there's too much that could go wrong, but maybe potentially. That's what I switched to. I believe maybe. I don't know. Not to sound like an ego, but like I have so many people on my Switch, like friends. I mean, because you know, whenever I would do a gaming with viewers stream, I would get friend requests. Like I think I did quite a few Mario Party Superstars with viewers streams, so I think I have quite a few friend requests from that. But then also like Mario Kart and such. How's progress for Luigi's Mansion 4? It's knock on wood. Need something wood. That disc is not real wood. This is wood. Knock on wood. It's almost done. It's almost done, and I'm so excited to finally get it out next month. I'm so excited. I don't know if you were here earlier, Miles, but I said this earlier. I had made a post with the release date for the project, for the Luigi's Mansion 4 Concepts Super Cup project I've been working on. It's coming out on Halloween night. It's coming out Friday, October 1st. Timed still to be determined. But like I'm so excited to get that one out. I'm so excited to get it out so people can stop asking me. Like I mentioned, like I made a post about it. But I still get comments being like, "We've waited so long. Where is it? Where is it?" I'm like, bros, I announced the release date literally this morning. I had to reply to a comment being like, "Look at the post. I made a post about it. Go look." Because I didn't want to upload a video dedicated to it, because I've done like 2 or 3 updates on it. Maybe I should do like a little trailer, maybe like October 1st, I'll do like a trailer. I'll set up like a trailer to promote the project. You know, that's probably what I should do. Maybe I will. I'll do a trailer. But I also wanted to fill you guys in on a couple other extra projects I'm working in before I go. What about Mario Party Jamboree Team Party with viewers? Again, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. A couple other projects I'm working on. One of which I'm very excited about, and one of which I'm very nervous about. The one I'm very excited about, and I feel like people are... I think it's a cool idea. I'm hoping that it resonates well with people. And I hope that, like... Because I don't think anything's really been done like it before. I could be wrong. But I'm thinking because this is a video I have not started anything on yet. It's in the planning stages, so it's a while off. But I wanted to throw the idea out there. I'm gonna start working on almost like a documentary style video of growing up as a Luigi's Mansion fan, and just talking about the first game, because the series as a whole, really, but especially the first game, the first Luigi's Mansion, because Luigi's Mansion's in such a different spot than it was 10 years ago. I figured it'd be kind of cool to do a video where it's talking about what it was like being a Luigi's Mansion fan back when I was a kid, what it was like not having a sequel to play, and then after playing the sequel and seeing that there was a fan base. I thought that could be a really interesting idea that I'm excited to explore it and work with it. But I'm still, like I said, I think it's good. I think I would make it almost documentary style, very different than how I usually make videos. I think it would be a documentary style video. But then another project I'm gonna start working on soon, and this is one that I'm nervous about, only because it's not something that I think my audience is gonna resonate with. But I'm hoping that it's something. The main reason I'm going to make this second video is mainly passion for the game franchise. I've begun work on a video essay, and usually I don't do video essays. I'll type up an outline with bullet points of what I want to talk about for each video. But I think I've done one other video essay in the past, and it was about this game, the same exact game franchise. And I'm going to do a video essay on Life is Strange. Because especially now that I'm working with Square Enix, because the thing is, Life is Strange, the franchise, is kind of in a weird spot right now. And I want to make a video, a professional, a really tight, good video, where I talk about the franchise, and not necessarily a review of the franchise, but more so talk about the future and what I think Deck 9 and Square Enix should do with it. Because I got a couple people from Square Enix who follow me. I got a couple people from Square Enix that I've talked to, and I would love for them to see my input on where I think they should take the Life is Strange franchise. And given that a TV show was announced recently for it, I think that now is kind of the time to work on it. And I know it's not something that I feel like a lot of you would be interested in, but it's something that, if nothing else, I would love for it to be shared around so that it could still be widely seen. Because how I used to do Luigi's Mansion, right? I would do videos of if I were Next Level Games, how would I tweak Luigi's Mansion? How would I change it? That's kind of what I'm doing here, except I'm doing it in a more professional format, and mostly because I want my reps to see the video. I want them to look at that video. I want them to be able to take something away from it, share something with the teams. That's something I would love to be able to happen, because I have that connection, and I might have the ability to make my voice heard, and how I think and how a lot of fans think the franchise has kind of gone astray and where it could improve. So look forward to those videos, but they're not a while out. The Life is Strange video would definitely come out sooner than the Luigi's Mansion. I'm going to call it the Luigi's Mansion documentary. So the Life is Strange video would definitely come out before the Luigi's Mansion documentary. But Luigi's Mansion 4 concept series is literally priority number 1 at the moment. Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, actually, that's priority number 1 at the moment, because the game's coming out soon. I want to make videos. I'm going to do the playthrough, review, all that. But then after that, I'm going to finish up that Luigi's Mansion concepts video. And then once that's done, we move on to SpongeBob. Because Titans of the Tide is coming out in November. And then once that's done, Mario Tennis will probably take up a bit of my time because I want to promote that game. Hopefully, there's, obviously Resident Evil's coming out around the same time. I want to see if I can get some hype for Resident Evil. Given that, funny enough, actually, one of the other creators, a creator that I'm not going to say names, but one creator that I work with, actually works with Capcom. So I'm going to try and see maybe if I could squeeze my way into a Capcom creator program thing for the Resident Evil Switch games, or at least figure out a way to negotiate a review something for the Switch 2 versions of the Resident Evil games. But safe to say, you guys, like, I'm going to end things off on this. So I see hold on, your comment here, Soshi Yoshi. Beating World 2 last night, Goes By You is a pain. Goes By You is a pain. But I want to end things off with this. Obviously, I started the stream off really heavy talking about Billy. And thank you to those of you who were here for that beginning segment. Kind of got a little raw, a little deep. But I appreciate you listening to me about that. It's so weird, right? Like, I mean, the past few months, I think I've gained like 500 subscribers in just the past few months alone. So, like, I've been working my tail off to get some momentum going because there was a stale period for a while. But with Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, things picked up. And I'm wanting to try and keep some good momentum with the channel. I'm trying to keep my channel healthy. And it's just so much on top of everything else. To give you guys some context of everything else going on at the moment. Right? I got a wedding I got to go to in 2 weeks. No. Yeah, 2 weeks. That is my best friend's wedding. I'm a groomsman. I'm part of the wedding party. We had the bachelor party a few weeks ago. Or actually, about a month ago. Like, I've been busy with that. I had the bachelor party, obviously PAX West. I had to go and help my dad with some stuff. I had to bring him to the airport, so I had to drive and pick him up out in Pennsylvania, come back to New York, drive him out there. Last weekend, I went to my mom's. She's in upstate New York. I drove 5 hours up there, 5 hours back. Life, and on top of a 9-to-5 job, on top of editing videos for the channel, on top of everything else, it's been a lot. A lot is going on, so I apologize if I don't stream as much as I should. We got Spooktober coming up, so we got some streams coming next month. I'm going to be part of the Super Mario-thon, the charity event that I've been part of these past couple years. There's another one coming up this year, and I'm going to be playing. I know the announcement isn't out yet, but I am playing Luigi's Mansion 3. So if you guys want to see me play Luigi's Mansion 3, there will be a Luigi's Mansion 3 stream next month. So there's just a lot going on, and stay tuned for the ride. Stay tuned for the ride. There's a lot going on. It's been very busy. I'm trying to keep some momentum going, and I'm stressing myself out in the process, but I think it's all been worth it because I've done a lot of growing these past few months. So thank you guys so much for watching today's live streams. Obviously, I'm going to be streaming Pac-Man World Re-Pac when it comes out this Friday. Probably a Pac-Man party or fever stream at some point in the week. And then we move on to spooky season, where I'm going to be gearing up for the Luigi's Mansion 4 Concepts supercut thing. And I'm in the midst and nearly done. Well, not nearly done, but I got to finish up editing podcast episode I did with Zoomzyke, where we ranked the Mario Party games together. Thank you, Miles. So if you guys like Zoomzyke and you like Mario Party, thank you, Tango. I said bless you, Tango. Thank you, Tango. If you guys like Zoomzyke and his Mario Party content, him and I talked for almost 2 hours ranking the Mario Party games together. And I think it's a video that if you're a fan of Mario Party, you're gonna want to watch, or at least listen to in the background, because him and I talked for 2 hours about, right? It's about, oh, I don't think I have the, do I have the recording? Hold on. I gotta, let me find it. Where's the recording? I think it's this one. Alright, any other oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. My computer, I need to get a new computer. Yeah, 2 hours and 6 minutes. 2 hours and 6 minutes of me and Zoomzyke. Obviously, it's going to be cut down a little bit, but me and Zoomzyke just talking about Mario Party. So stay tuned for that when it comes out. That'll be next month. That's good. That's gonna be a next month thing as well. So thank you guys so much for watching today's stream. I really hope you enjoyed. Drop a like if you haven't done so already. It would mean a lot. And until next time, you guys, I will see you all in the next stream.